Welcome everyone to the quaint little town of Natick Banks, located on the side of Lake Cockatouit. This place has quite a number of buildings, quite a number of things going on. We're going to be looking at every single one of them. First off, there is a Deathclaw in the centre of town that is rampaging through the super mutants who have set their home up here. I mean, when you see all the meat bags, you kind of know it's all set up. But these two they're pals, they're friends, just for this episode. They've decided to stop fighting so we can look around the place. Of course, behind us is the police station. It's its own place, and Addy Winter Tape is inside, and I do a complete video on it separately. Now, this house that is slowly falling into the river has a little feral ghoul inside a bathtub with another skeleton holding the shotgun. You could probably piece together what was going on there. Lots of collectible junk that'll help you upgrade your weapons, upgrade your armor, build things around your settlements. Now, once we climb back on out, we can have a look at the diner. We've got a wee morning coffee here from your Luxo brew. Heck, the cash register still has some pre-war money in it. We can have a look around and see some of the diners who have been left here. We all aspire to become a pretty good environmental storytelling skeleton, if anything were to happen. Aha, a little Vault-Tec lunchbox. One of the more notable things you'll find here, as well as this steamer trunk that I keep forgetting about. You'd think it would be obvious considering it's just kind of hanging off the edge there. There is the attic, which I can show you here doesn't have anything. Now, as for the edge of the lake here, I always love to drain the water away. To give you a bit of an idea of what's going on under the surface, the trailer isn't accessible. There's nothing really of any use there. One of the tires off it. And then, of course, the rest of the lake. The town is slowly seeping into the lake. I guess with the retaining wall here, it's failed because this retaining wall is actually mostly under the water. So the police station's been lost, a few other buildings, and given time, I would say, yeah, the lake will reclaim. Nature has a good way of doing that. Let's talk about the town square. Located just beside the diner is a little Pulaski shelter. Woo! Meat bag. When it comes to interiors, this place is lacking. Apart from one or two buildings nearby, the Roadside Pines Hotel is just beside us to the north. Then we have this wee house up here, which we can have a little gander into. Little mongrel out the back. The raiders must occupy this. It's strange. You've got a very close grouping of enemies that don't like one another. We have super mutants, we have raiders, we have Deathclaws, and a wee bit further south there's even Yaogwai. So this place is rife with problems. So you can see whoever owned this, they went out together. Is the roof accessible? No, because there isn't much in the attic. A laundered dress, some Abraxo. And the wee mongrel's just wandering about. Now if we do a little bit of parkour, and we can hop the fence into the graveyard. Before we're rounding our way back to the town square, let's have a look at the little church, little chapel. Ah, raiders and ghouls. The super mutants here are busy. They don't seem to care wherever they set up. As long as they have victims nearby, they're pretty happy. Very low maintenance type of enemy. Find somewhere. I want to know how they build these. Like, it looks to me like they have some really good engineers amongst their ranks. You know, maybe one or two of them maintain enough, intelligence to be crafting that. Now, this dude over here is one I never knew about. Raider dead on the roof. We duffel bag into. There's an unmarked workshop that we'll look at that's got a Deathclaw or two patrol in the area. Deathclaws are extremely common west of here. All the way up to the substation, you'll even find a behemoth fighting. Perhaps the behemoth belonged to this little group, and because he's no longer there, he's maybe went to check out the substation, and he's left this group And needless to say, the group isn't faring too well with the death claws coming into town. There's a little antique store. Sadly, there's no collectibles. Maybe in a future Fallout you'll be able to get some pretty awesome stuff. When you see all the billiard balls, you know the table's just completely collapsed. Similar layout to the one that you find at Fort Hagen. You even get a wee bottle of Brubov's, the Bobrov's best moonshine here. Cam box, combat shotgun, ammo, and another dead super mutant. Normally the Deathclaw wins, so he's going to be your bigger problem if you decide to come into this area. Not too much is going on the roof. Easy access downstairs. And this is the other interior that you can go into. Who knows what it was in a pre-war time? Maybe like a bookstore, hardware store or something of that kind. No, I just filled it with meat bags. Now let's talk about a little bit of a story. Something going on. Provided we don't lose our leg to a landmine. We can find this house. It's beside the Red Rocket Station. Bit of food. Lying around. Little dresser. And oh! A novice terminal. How strange. The blocks here read Kim. Makes you wonder what's going on in here. There's also a little expert safe, but it's just generic loot. Let's have a look at the terminal. User profile for Kim Woo. Now, there's been an unmarked location here and there in which you learn a wee bit about Kim Woo and her family, but let's have a read of her personal logs. The gate. We had a really strange day today. We were supposed to go shop for Halloween costumes, but this morning we looked out the windows and saw people smashing the arch outside. There were lots of police, but nobody made them stop. Later, a bus showed up and lots of our neighbours started getting on. I saw some of the police come into our building, and Mama took us up to the roof to play. I thought that would be fun, but we had to be real quiet and stay outside for a long, long time. Mama wouldn't let us go back inside until it was really cold and dark outside. She cried when Papa finally came home. Grown-ups are weird. I don't see why we have to live at Uncle Marshall's house, but Mama says this is our home now. I liked our old apartment in Perwood. We don't even have our own room here. Everyone has to spend all day in the back room and it's smelly. Everyone is being weird here too. I asked when Auntie Song is going to get home, but Uncle wouldn't answer. Mama started crying. Maggie even pushed me down and tried to kick me before Papa pulled him off and sent him to sit in the corner. Papa told me later that Auntie was going away to camp for a while, and that sounds like fun to me. I had a bunch of questions and Papa told me it's not for kids and I shouldn't bring it up anymore. So these are the internment camps. Now, you can find some of the trucks and whatnot in Fallout 3. A lot more of a gruesome thing that was going on. In fact, there might even be a trailer. It's close to the Medford Memorial Hospital, in which we presume it was full of, you know, people like Kim and whatnot. Anyone of Chinese descent, I would imagine, were being put into these internment camps because of the war. Papa says I'm not allowed to play downstairs with Jason anymore. I want to scream. We were playing this holotape his big brother traded for at school. He said we should learn something from it. But when Papa saw me playing it, he took it out and made Jason go home. He was really mad. Made me go to my room. I can hear him on the phone with Uncle arguing about the Red Menace game. I didn't do anything. It's not fair. World Series. I hate it here. I just want to die. The World Series started and Boston is playing, but I can't even go upstairs to watch. Mama says there are bad people in the neighbourhood today and we shouldn't disturb them if they visit Uncle Marshall. So we're stuck in our room all day, again. The TV upstairs is on full blast, but I can't hear what's going on. Tried to call Jason so he could tell me the score, but Mama got really mad when she saw me with a phone. She said it's silly to be worried about a stupid game. It's baseball. How can she not get it? Just kill me now. Sirens. Everything's gone crazy. Those loud sirens came on and woke me up. They didn't turn off at the time and Uncle Marshall came downstairs. Then we heard a huge boom. Grown-ups were arguing about whether we should leave. Mama is saying, or staying here with me and Mikey, and I wanted to go with Papa, but he said he has to take care of Mama. I have to take care of Mama and Mikey. Papa put on a big coat, a scarf, a hat. He looked silly. Took all the money from the jar and said we had to stay put while he and Uncle Marshall went to try and buy food and water. Scary people. There were people up in the house yesterday who came in while we were sleeping. Someone they brought with them was crying. I think there was a fight. They broke a bunch of stuff, said a lot of cuss words. Papa and Uncle said we're going to wait till they go to sleep and then try and make a run for it. So that was the evolution all the way from the internment camps to the war, you know, coming to the shore. And then obviously the bombs falling. Now, I presume that last entry is referring to raiders that they were fending off. Don't really find out any more about Kim, but, you know, again, it's a story that could really put the hairs up on your arms. We've got weapons workbench in here, power armor station, the usual stuff you find in any useful red rocket station. Desk fans, lots of good junk, very stacked cash register. Hopefully it's as stacked for you, because the loot that you see in a lot of the generic containers around here can vary from place to place. So, that is this part of the town. But don't worry, there's 2 other unmarked locations around it that are really worth checking out. Let's go into the remains of this house. Anything up in the roof? Oh, this dude in a duffel bag. Nice. You always find something new, even when you're doing the likes of guides and whatnot. So, armor workbench too. The full set. Now, if you wander south and keep on going, but don't get to the glowing sea. If you see a Yaogwai, you're probably in the right position. You'll get yourself a suit of power armor that's always just chilling over here. Now, it is random, and the longer you wait, the better your armor will be. For me, it's just a T45 torso and right arm. But you still get, obviously, the skeleton of it, which is pretty good. So, bear that in mind if you're ever in the area and you're looking some good stuff. And when you finish the game, this checkpoint will actually be occupied by the winning faction. I'll show you on the map here. So, Natick Banks, of course, far western side of the map. Just before you get to the likes of the glowing sea. And south of Fort Hagen. And the checkpoint is right here. And the next bit we're going to is up here, because I want to show you around the place. So, as we head off in this direction, we'll be coming up on a substation. A little house. A pretty grim ending to the owner. And this little camp that's currently occupied by Deathclaws. Some settlers tried to make their base of operations here. Obviously, it didn't go too well. But you can make use of the cooking station when you're in the area after you deal with the local wildlife. Deathclaws are not one to be trifled with. This little garage here contains a little fusion zip, the smaller variant of the fusion flea. Upstairs is an advanced lock safe, and it will provide you a bit of a vantage point here to the Deathclaw population below. Little toolbox in here, and a dented trailer that you can't open. Little visual tip: if you see a dent in the trailer and it's not flush, then you can't open it. It's a minor tip, but you know what? It saves me a lot of time, and it might save you some time. If there's a dent, it can't be opened. If there's no dent, you can't open it. You can see it from a distance, so. Normally, this substation is 2 Deathclaws on 1 Behemoth. He normally wins. I mean, Deathclaws don't tend to stand a chance against someone as big as this Behemoth. In our challenges, we have our Behemoth nicknamed Nigel. Nigel shows up from time to time. Technically, they're all Nigel to us. Another garage here that was storing some vehicles. Doesn't seem to be the way. There's not much loot for the substation. Your biggest bit of loot will come from killing Nigel and the Deathclaws there. But what if we carry on a little further this way? Could say just over the hill from the roadside Pines Motel. If you see the rock fallen sign, which is normally accompanied by another Deathclaw, you're on the right path. There was indeed rocks falling. I like the little environmental, story this tells. Plus, you can get some lunch. Delicious. More skeletons in this giant pile-up. Before moving to our last location, this little house. It seems that it was left in a bit of disarray. A tree had fallen and smashed it, and considering its location to the glowing sea, I would say its previous owners, well, one took a shortcut to get out of here. The other one Let's just say they didn't fare much better. A very gruesome place to find. That's for sure. But that's Natick Banks in a nutshell. Of course, there's the motel and the police department. If you want more specifically on them, be sure to check out those videos. And as always, thank you for watching.